Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another live stream. I know this is crazy. 2 in a span of a week. Is it Christmas? It might be. Guys, we have a special guest tonight. It's going to be an exciting stream. I'm going to be working on Dewdrop Dynasty. I know I worked on it last time, but this one's going to be slightly different because I'm going to be actually working on the levels. Like, I'm going to be in Godot, working out the maps, and it's gonna be beautiful. It might be a little stressful trying to do all this, and there will be spoilers. I'm saying it now. If you do not want things to be spoiled, then just don't look. Cover your little eyes. So, real quick, where are you from right now? What country are you at, and what time is it currently? I know we have a different crowd this evening because all you people in the UK are going to bed right now. So let me know, and we're gonna jump into it. This next slide I'm gonna show you is the map we're gonna be creating today. We're gonna be making the room, so get ready. Spoiler alert, people. And then I will introduce my special guest in a second. So let's switch over there while we're waiting. Ohio, Faded Gaming. That's a great place to be. Saudi Arabia? I don't think that said Arabia. I think I just made that up. USA, Oklahoma, England, New Zealand. Very cool, very cool. I'm from my favorite country, Africa. Oh gosh, you'll never let me live it down. Yo, that map looks different. Portugal, France, Germany, Brazil, Canada. Where's that at? Utah, New Zealand, Indonesia. Awesome. It always surprises me how many diverse locations, like Missouri and Utah. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But Africa, Netherlands, it's just so cool. All right. So while you guys are still sharing with me where you're at, I would like to introduce my special guest. This is a first time appearance for him. But he's been a crucial part of Dewdrop Dynasty, and he's kind of been behind the scenes. So I've mentioned him in a couple devlogs. But it is the one and only Bonzo Bean, or for short, Bonzo. Bonzo, how you doing tonight? Let's see, for some reason I can't hear you, and I don't know why. Oh no. Guys, could anyone just hear Bonzo?
Yeah, what's up, guys?
All right, there we go.
Bonzo. You know, I dressed before I came in and everything like that. You know, I was just playing some Metroid Zero Mission again. This game is so good, man.
It's a pretty classic game. I was playing it 2 weeks ago, and it was pretty enjoyable. It's interesting going back to kind of an old style metroidvania compared to, like, it doesn't have the same quality of life as your newer metroidvanias do, but it's still a really cool game. Samus is huge though.
Samus is massive, like, especially like even since like the older games, like Samus is always like, it's like Samus jumping is like almost the size of Mario, right? And Samus is especially like hilarious in the original like Game Boy version in like Metroid 2, Samus Returns. Like it's like she is huge. She's like Batman in like the Arkham games, where it's like he's like 1/3 of the entire screen, like a Batman zone. Like that's how Samus is. Like Samus is probably like 1/4 of the screen or something. Samus is huge in Metroid 2.
Yes.
So yeah, she has a history of being very massive.
History of being very massive.
Yeah.
Very true. All right, well, guys, today we're gonna be working on Dewdrop. Bonzo did a lot of the conceptual art. He didn't, believe it or not, he didn't do this map. I made the map, but most of the concept art that you guys have seen in devlogs is done by Bonzo, and he's been with the project from the very beginning. So feel free to ask any questions you have to him, pester him during the stream, and pester me if you have any questions. And without further ado, we'll get started. I will try. Oh, also one more thing. There's so much. I'm also joined today by my lovely wife, Kiwi, who's gonna be moderating the chat. So just behave. So listen here, good Chris. You still owe me $5. Slendy Bob, your profile picture scares me a little bit. Mithril Age, Goodgis, is this entire map of Dewdrop? It is not. This is just the demo location. So hope you get a good look at it, because I'll probably pop back over to this slide a couple times. But all right, without further ado, let's get into it. This is the beautiful land of Godot, and I'm joined by my PNG self and PNG Bonzo.
Hello.
So yeah, feel free, guys, shoot some questions our way, and keep us company. And Bonzo and I will try to share some stories along the way. So, all right, I have to figure out how to get started with this. This is a little intimidating. I guess I could first explain. So this area right here in the map, this is a room. This is what it looks like in Dewdrop. I'm not going to dive too deep in the code, but this is one location in the game, and then I have this parent node that has all the other things, debug information, all this stuff. And then all I do in Godot is I just swap this game room node to whatever the current room is. I don't know if I'll actually be showing footage like gameplay tonight, so just keep that in mind. But I'll do my best. Really, we're just going to be blocking out these areas. That's really what it is, blocking out. Guys, what is the art style of Dewdrop actually called? Bonzo, what would you call the art style?
I mean, the art style, I'd say the way how it has the post-processing, it reminds me of, I think we talked about this the last stream, but it reminds me a lot of the HD 2D style that they have for Triangle Strategy, made by Square Enix. Not Bravely Default. It was like the Triangle Strategy, Live Alive, which is like the last game that they made in that style. It's a remake of like an SNES game. And Octopath Traveler kind of has that type of style where it has like, it's like an old school like pixel art, but it's very shiny and all that, you know? Like they have a lot of like new age like effects and stuff to it.
Yeah, it has a really unique look to it that I've come to love with the post processing and just like the fog and stuff. So it didn't start out that way. Some people don't like it, and that's okay because I made a setting to turn it off. So for those who just want naked pixels, I don't know how. So I don't know a better way of describing it, but there is an option for that as well. Goodgis, do you know what Scratch is? I do. I've used it like, I don't know, once. I've played around with it, but I don't really use it on a regular basis. But it's cool. It seems like some cool software for sure. Okay. So I need to duplicate this. It needs to be called something else than room 3. I think it's going to be room 20. I'm not making up this arbitrary number. I'm not sure which room this map will be. So I'm gonna start by like deleting all the props here. I'm gonna use the same base. All these little points in the room right here are spawners. So this is where the enemies spawn in. I'm gonna hide that if I can. Yeah. So this is where I can set enemies here. I can click, oh, guard worm, boom. And then when I start the game, it'll actually spawn that enemy. Different things I could make. Does it face left or right? Does it trigger on a spawner? All that stuff. So I've really tried to make my own kind of level editor system when it comes to making rooms. And then same even goes for treasure chests. You can get different things by opening a treasure chest. So super nice. Godot has some really nice features. If you're curious on how I did it, look up the exporting variables in Godot and you'll be all set. What was the Dewdrop Dynasty prototype look like? Which prototype are you talking about, Dharma Devs? Okay, this is a good one for both of us, Bonzo. What's your favorite metroidvania? I guess I'll go first. I'm trying to think because I haven't really played a whole lot of games in the genre. But I think Cave Story might be, because Cave Story just has a really cool world and story to it. So that might be one of my just purely at gunpoint trying to make a decision on stream, I would say Cave Story is my go-to. So, what about yourself, Bonzo?
In Cave Story, how long did it take for you to beat that game again?
Maybe 3-4 hours.
That thing took me there's a time where I played that game for like 20 hours. Because I was like, I don't know what I was doing. I was like a kid. I was like 12 and I was like on a long ride for 12 hours. So I had nothing but like Cave Story.
Were you playing on your Vita or something?
No, it was on a PSP. Someone made like a homebrew for it. And so I ended up playing that game and I did not know what I was doing. I was getting lost everywhere. I didn't know NPCs or anything like that. Like, I was just like stuck in a whole bunch of places. So that game took way, way longer than it ever should have. And I never really beat it. But I think about it sometimes. But that's not my favorite Metroidvania. I'm almost thinking about saying like, oh yeah, like all the 2D Metroid games, except for like Fusion. But I don't think that those games are exactly like what you think of as like what a Metroidvania would be, you know. So I guess I would say that when I think about all the different games, like Symphony of Night is probably a hard second. That game has like some of the best like story and dialogue that's just really funny, has a lot of like 90s flair to it that you don't see in a lot of like games these days. Fine, number one, it's probably like Hollow Knight.
I can see that. That's like that's what everyone wants me to say. They're like, make it Hollow Knight.
Hollow Knight, the thing about Hollow Knight, it's like, it's the every Metroidvania. It just took so many different types of like lessons from like a whole bunch of like different like Metroidvanias and platforms and games throughout like the decades. And it also has a heavy inspiration from Dark Souls. Like a lot of its story and the way how like the world building and stuff is like clearly like heavily like inspired by it. And I'd say that in some ways you could say even some parts of the healing system, how they're able to like give you something that you're able to just like constantly replenish without having to like buy it, you know?
Yeah, that's become a really popular feature now in Metroidvanias, and something that we've talked about with Dewdrop too is like, it's cool. I think it's cool. Hollow Knight really pioneered a lot of new mechanics and stuff, and really it kind of evolved the series and brought some quality of life stuff that the older Metroid games kind of lacked in some ways. But yeah, it's funny. I haven't really. I'm kind of a crybaby about hard games, and it is definitely a difficult game. Like platformers especially can be pretty tricky, and so I haven't. I'm Metroidvanias that are more my speed are like Yoku's Island Express, where it's like you don't die. It's like a Lego Star Wars game.
I still need to get to that game. I have it, but I still haven't played it.
It's a really fun game. I've been playing that. That's one that Kiwi really likes to watch. But yeah, that was a great question though. I didn't know who asked that. Someone literally just asked, Goodgis, what do you think about Hollow Knight? I think it's a really cool game. I try not to look at it too much because I try to learn from it, but I try not to study it too much because I don't want to make a copy of it, of course. But I think it does, like, it feels so cinematic. That's really the best way of putting it. It feels like a movie, which is really cool, and it's what I like about the game. So yeah, I guess that's my thoughts on that. Let's see. I'm holding you at gunpoint. Goodgis says Hollow Knight. Oh boy. Okay, I need to, guys. All right, bear with me. I get so focused, and I'm like, oh, I'm not looking at the chat. Okay, question for Goodgis and Bonzo. What was your first Metroidvania game? Probably Metroid or Super Metroid, probably. I probably played it when I was a little kid, and I didn't love it. I never really loved Metroidvanias growing up because I didn't like the theming of them. They all were very like kind of dark and dreary, and I wanted to just like race Chow in Sonic Adventure. So which one do you think is your first, Bonzo?
Man, that's It's probably, it's like there's certain parts of the childhood about playing so many games. It just like there's some parts that gets so hazy. It's like you gotta unlock the memory. One of the earliest ones that I remember was like Metroid Fusion, which is probably the worst one for me to actually start with because that game is so hard for you to just like find any place to get through in there. Like they hide all the different like hidden. They hide basically all the different ways to like get through a zone so well. Like they just want to make you like drag on those hours compared to all the other ones. That's how it feels like to me because I got way lost into that game compared to any other ones. And it was just me as a little kid playing, being like, I don't know where to go. I'm gonna turn this game off. And then like I didn't touch the game for like I don't know, like 10 years. It's been 15 years.
Wow. Well, did you beat it when you went back to it?
Oh yeah, I beat it like last year.
Dude, it's redemption. It's your redemption arc.
Yeah, it's the redemption arc. That game is so hard, dude. That game is so aggressively mean. Like, it's like there are so many points where there's so many bosses in there where it just feels like that it's like almost impossible for you to fight them without getting hit, which is a nice change that in Metroid Dread they made it so that it feels like that you can really just go and do big like flawless runs throughout every part of the game.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than just like an enemy that just like kind of like, oh, you can't avoid it. But all right, there's so many questions. All right, we gotta go speed run.
So many.
Speed run. Do you have any tips on game dev for VR? Unfortunately, I don't. I get motion sickness doing VR, so I haven't really messed around with it at all. Okay.
I have a tip. Make sure that you have both a snapping option and a normal rotation option.
There you go.
Have both of those.
There you go.
That's my tip. just so that no one gets stuck with one or the other, and they just have motion sickness problems.
Oh gosh.
But it's like we haven't really like worked on like VR games that much.
No.
Because I think it's just that we just need, one of the things about it is that we just all need like the equipment for it in the first place, for us to even test it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we haven't really. I just like maybe that I will never just like say we won't do it, but right now that's not on our radar. We got enough projects as is. Someone said, Goodgis, why don't you use Godot auto tile? Because auto tile is good for some stuff, but other things it's not. It probably would be better in this case, but I don't know. That's a great question. Okay, let's see. Guys, also, if I missed your questions, we definitely are going to miss your questions. Having more people on the stream means that it takes twice as long to answer your questions. So if we miss it, feel free to ask them again. And if I miss them like 20 times, Kiwi will let me know. So she does a great job of making sure your messages get read.
Yeah, let me know, gamers.
Let me know, gamers. Do you do the rooms as one big level, or do you use separate scenes? I used to do them as one big level, but recently I changed to separate scenes for performance reasons, for making the room more cinematic. There's just like a ton of reasons why I changed. That will be in a newer devlog, hopefully soon when we have our big announcement next month. Or not next month. Well, no, September. No, in October. So there's some secret stuff planned ahead. So, okay, give Dewdrop a hardcore one game hit mode. Already thought about it. We already have a system that could be kind of based off that. But we think that you deal one hit damage to everything else, which I don't know. Does Dread do that? Is it one hit damage to everything else in Dread, or is it just you take one damage and lose?
Pretty sure it's like you take one hit damage. I know Devil May Cry 3. I know that game specifically. I played that one a lot. That one has a mode. I believe it's called like Heaven or Hell mode, and it's basically you do one hit damage to the enemies, and they deal one hit damage to you. It's a really, really fun mode.
Oh snap. Oh boy. All right, hold on, let's see. I need to see. So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I just had to do some basic math there. That wasn't math, that was counting. It's arithmetic. Okay. Good guys, I'm seeing you drop train by tile. Such a tedious process. I've been spoiled by click and drag level editors. I'm gonna ask why no auto tiles. Yeah, once again, some of the way that the auto tiling in Godot works is kind of odd. Or maybe I'm not doing it right. I'm sure it's a mixture of both. So that's why, but I'm looking, the reason I'm so slow right now is I'm looking at my sketch and I'm trying to translate it into actual 3D, or not 3D, but into the game. So, but yeah, you're right. Auto tiles would work better. I'm not doing it, and there's a reason why, but I don't know why. It's been so long, so. Wait a minute. Oh, no. Okay, I'm looking at the wrong tile here, so here we go. So that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so he can only jump 4 of these. So these tiles I'm laying down are double size. So I have to make sure that Poe can't, with his special ability, can't get higher than 4 of these bigger tiles. So, okay, back to questions. Are you planning on trying to add dynamic lighting to the game? I've played around with it. That's a great question. I don't know if we will or not. But it's the result that I've achieved from it so far hasn't really added anything to the game for me to really justify, like, oh, we have to do this. So that's kind of my stance on it right now, but I'm not opposed to it. Okay, what else? Goodgis, to what game would you compare Dewdrop's difficulty? Have you ever played Elmo's Letter Adventure? I think it would be comparable to the. No, I'm just kidding. It's I don't know. It's probably gonna be. It's gonna be tougher than you think it is, and it's probably gonna be easier than what other people think it's gonna be. Like, I don't know if it's gonna be Hollow Knight hard, but at the same time, you don't want it to be too easy because people are gonna be like, ugh. So it's really gonna come down to this demo that we release. We're gonna get feedback from all you guys and be like, oh, we wish the game was harder, we wish the game was easier, and all that stuff. So it's just a matter of trying something out and seeing if it works. So thumbs up. How's your day going, Goodgis? It's going excellent. How about yourself? Goodgis, to what game? Oh wait, no, yeah, I already read that. Do you like G-Develop, Goodgis? I think it's pretty good. I don't think it's quite comparable to Construct yet, but I still think it's a pretty solid engine. That's I got to work with G-Develop, and they're really great people. I'm all for open source projects, as you know, as I preach all the time, and got to talk with the main creator of G-Develop, really nice guy. So I'm all for it. I would love to see it grow. Hence is why I did the video with them. But for my personal needs, it's not. I'm kind of don't really need to use it at this point. I'm a Godot bro. Are you going to use the auto tiling? No.
If he does use the auto tiling, this entire stream would only last 30 seconds.
I know everyone's at home is like, please, Goodgis, please. How much will Dewdrop cost? How much do you want it to cost? No, just kidding. We're still playing around. Probably $15. That's the magic number when it comes to indie games. And for the amount of content the game will have and stuff like that, I feel like that's pretty good. And I mean, we have plans on updating it in the future as well. In my mind, Dewdrop isn't a one and done ordeal. I want to update and add some extra stuff as well. So it all depends. But $15 is where my head's at with all that right now. So what is this? How did I make this? Is that a tile? Prop tile. Oh, it is a tile. Okay. I love how I forget how I made my own design my own area. Beautiful. Goodgis, who is your guest? Okay, for those who are just tuning in, my special guest is Bonzo, and I guess I should give you guys want the backstory of Bonzo. Well, whether you want it or not, I'm giving it. So Bonzo and I met in college, and funny story, we both went to art school. and we met in a class that was, I think it was like a 2D class. I'm not going to mention any professor names or anything like that, but and he was listening to Proto Man music, and it was like, I think my first class in college, and I was wearing a Zelda t-shirt, and I was like, whoa, I'm like, is that Proto Man music? And he's like, yo, is that a Zelda shirt? Or I can't remember who said what first, but
oh, it was the Zelda shirt. It's like the day beforehand.
That's right.
Yeah. I was like, oh, dude, it's a nice Zelda shirt. You got the Loot Crate shirt.
And then the rest is history. We ended up just hitting off really well, and we talked about game dev and how we both want to do it. And I showed him some older games I used to make, because when I was in art school, I really kind of, I don't want to say gave up on my game dev dream, but I kind of did. I kind of like got out of it. So it was nice. We would hang out, and many hours in that school, just studying hard, working on designs, talking about Mario or something. I don't think we've ever talked about Mario on a regular basis, but
man, those days, man, I was like really surprised when I saw you and one other person. You were like had like stuff. You were like pulling up like Game Maker Studio, I believe it was. And I was like, whoa, that's like do Game Maker and all that stuff. Like, oh man, I wish I could like make games like that, all that stuff, right? Because at that time, I wasn't really thinking about like getting into like game development or anything like that. Like, I just really just thought about, you know, like maybe being like a concept artist for like something, you know, or just become like just a traditional artist in general. But as like time went by, I just like started thinking like, you know, I just really want to just do like literally anything that's like has to do with video games, you know. And I'm already an artist, so I might as well do a lot of art for that. Like, I already like making a whole bunch of different types of like character designs and like making up stories for the characters, you know, from like OCs and all that stuff. And so, and Goodgis, he wanted to make like some games, and at some point he just ended up asking me if I could just make some designs for him. And I was like, oh yeah, totally cool, right? Because it'd be awesome to actually like make some art for like characters in like a video game, all that stuff.
Yeah, and the rest is kind of history. We kind of just like, ever since then, we just like as school went on, we kept the dream alive. And the only other person on the Fear team who I really met at college was Bread, or Jinky Bread, or Brad, who helped make the keep. But even Bonza, you did some character designs for the keep. Guys, if you see any one of my videos, you have seen character designs from Bonzo. We have Maxwell character in the keep, Blizzard Blowout characters, like the new characters I was showing in my devlogs. I'm trying to think, like the princess character and the two girl characters, and there's a couple characters we actually didn't show off, but
I also made an owl character in the keep.
That's right, you made Whizbird. Yeah,
which is pretty funny.
He made Whizbird, which you guys all know the game Whizbirds, and that game was inspired off of that character, so that's funny.
Yeah, but Goodgis made the better design though. He made that one. He was like, oh wow, it's blue, it's got spines in back. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's just like Sonic. Wow.
That's the funny thing, is it's a very collaborative process. Like, we go back and forth. You know, Bonza, you're very detailed artist, and like your work really lends itself well to like detailed 3D work. And I always have like, all right, design this character, and I'm like, great, now we got to make it 8x8 pixels. So the one thing we're always saying is like, simplify, but it's a shame because the designs are incredible.
It kind of reminds me of the way how old Square used to do it back in the day, because that's basically what they did with Yoshitaka Amano's art, because he did a lot of the designs for all the characters in Final Fantasy games, and then they were like hyper detailed, all that stuff, right? And they would be like, how are we going to put this together to make a sprite, right? And they basically just took it and then tried to make it as close to the art as possible for like all the character sprites, but they did have to make compromises since they were just so small for what he was making.
Yeah, that's pretty. It's a challenge. Like, I feel bad too because it's like it's always like, oh, it's beautiful, but you got to change it. But I think I do a pretty good job of trying to keep the design that you have, like the essence of the design, and then just simplify it. Like, try to grab the main details that really stand out, at least to me. Yeah. And then incorporate that. So,
like, as long as you can just like keep like a similar energy to it, you know?
Yeah. That's actually for the PNG tuber art right there for Bonzo. We went back and forth on that. Did some sketches, and the design turned out great. And I just simplified that, and it looks awesome. So, okay. Someone said, or Z Studios and Entertainment. Hey, Goodgis, how do you put dark theme in Godot editor? So you go to editor settings, and then you go to theme, and then you just change these two colors, and it changes it. It's mind-blowing, I know. Hopefully that shows up too. I don't know if that did. Wait, I'm literally watching the stream. Okay, yeah, it did. Okay, so I'm only sharing my Godot window right now, and sometimes it doesn't show everything. Skides, you love Maxwell? Yeah, Maxwell is a very interesting character. I will say, I didn't know whether it was a dog or a kangaroo for like a year or two. And then until finally Bonzo, you're like, it's a kangaroo. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, dude.
But yeah, it's awesome character design. Okay, guys, feel free to ask some more questions. I'm making a Mario-like game called Super Sam Advance. That sounds awesome. Goodgis, for a complete and utter beginner in game development, do you recommend visual scripting or go straight to normal scripting? I mean, it all depends. I think if you can't, some people just love programming and they can jump straight into scripting, and that's awesome and fun for them. So if you can do that, in some ways you're better off. But I mean, look at games like Mighty Goose, where they're completely made in like Construct, and they look incredible. So if you're an artist and you really are just like more focused on trying to make a basic game, then I wouldn't get too hung up on it. The main thing is just to start making a game. It doesn't matter what you use. Just don't use Godot's visual scripting because they're getting rid of it. So, or I'm pretty sure they're getting rid of it. So I've heard. What's my opinion on Godot 4? It looks great. Actually, I'm using Godot 3.5, which has features from Godot 4. And it keeps getting better. It's no other way of putting it other than that. So, really excited about it. What the Godot team is doing, and I'm excited for what the future holds with all of it. So, also, there's no way Poe's gonna make this jump. I gotta fix that.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, what I'll do after this, I probably won't do this on stream, but what for reference for people designing areas, what I'll go back and I'll play through the area and make sure all the jumps feel comfortable. So what I'm doing right now is just kind of blocking out the area, and this is where you're going to be getting an ability in the game, and then you'll have to learn how to use that ability. So it's kind of a crucial room. Okay, a lot of questions. Goodgis, will Patreon subs get early access to Dewdrop demo? That's the plan. So for those who don't know, I do have a Patreon account, and I've been thinking about getting rid of it. I know, gasp. I know, it's scary. So if you do want early access to Dewdrop, you will if you sign up this month or in September. I may keep it running till the end of the year, but I might change some stuff. I might either change to doing YouTube memberships, or my mindset is just focusing on working on Dewdrop. And so anything that kind of adds extra work that takes me away from that is kind of tricky. But anywho, but if you do want to get early access, that's still up. You can still use it. And I'm hoping to do it before the demo, because as Skides and some of the other Patreon supporters know, like Patreon's really nice to get your guys' feedback early on, and I can get, we kind of have a tight-knit community with those guys. Just getting feedback and figuring out how we can improve the game before the whole general public sees it. So, okay. Speed round. Will this game be out on Mac and Linux? Yes. Are you ever scared that the market for indie Metroidvanias is too saturated? I don't think it is. I think there honestly aren't too many nowadays. Like, there are, but there's not as many as you think there are. Because I was wondering that myself, and I'm actually surprised, especially ones that aren't like I just saw a post the other day about how people are so tired of like depressing Metroidvanias, and this game is gonna have, there's gonna be some emotional parts, there's gonna be some interesting parts, like any good story, but for the most part it's gonna be pretty lighthearted and just like a fun game. So let's see more. Your team's designs are always so cute and clean. What's your opinion on games that are dark and gritty? That's literally J. Alexander Douglas. I feel like I kind of just answered it here. I don't think there's anything wrong with that genre for those that are interested in it. It's just not my genre. I'm like, one time I made a scary design and I deleted it. So that's kind of my perspective on all that stuff.
Like the spookiest Elmo of all time.
The spookiest Elmo. Delete.
Yeah. Spooky, gritty stuff. That's a bit more on my wheelhouse. Like, I could just like be playing like Doom Eternal like every other day.
I'm like, I would just cry. I'd be like, no. Just give me Sonic Adventures, give me Paper Mario, and I'll be there.
Which one?
The first.
Ah, okay.
Second one's like a better, harder game, but the first one is just like a better setting, better world, and in my most humble of opinions. Coding Cricket asks, is your entire game in one scene? It is not. This is just one small room in the game. So, and everything that you're seeing, for those who tuned in late, I'm gonna real quickly cut back to this slide real quick. This is the map we're doing for the demo location. This is spoilers. What we're working on is the area in the top right. There's that green area where it says B. We're working on that room right now. So that's a little preview. I try to be really secretive about this stuff because I like keeping it a surprise, but there's so many of you that are actually curious in how I work and make these games. So for those of you that are interested, here it is. But I'll probably put a spoiler warning after I upload this to my page. Okay. Let's see. We got I'm seeing a lot of Goodgises. Does Goodgis support C++? It does. Goodgis, do you have any tips to optimize a Metroidvania? How to use less storage, space, CPU, etc.? If you don't have to show an object, don't. Avoid deleting objects. Deleting objects are really like resource intensive. It's better just to hide it if you can and put it off on the other side of the screen or something like that. I mean, don't use a lot of post-processing if you can avoid it. Where is this? Oh, I'm trying to delete this and I can't even find it. Anywho, that's pretty much. I'm trying to think. There's a lot of good tips for optimization. Godot has an article on it. I'm pretty sure, or the. There we go. Oh my goodness, that was a journey. Godot has some articles on optimization, but really like don't spawn on enemies when they're not there. Don't really have things. If it's not on screen, it shouldn't really be visible or it shouldn't be moving. But okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have you guys. I want you to tag Bonzo, and then it's you're Bonzo Bean on YouTube, right? Just
what?
Are you Bonzo San?
I don't remember.
Let's see. Okay, so what I want you guys to do, I think this is a different workflow, but I want you guys to tag Bonzo-san in the stream for questions. And Bonzo, I'm going to have you read them out loud for us to answer. Crepe suggested that, and I think that's a great suggestion, so I don't have to keep looking over at the chat and being like, oh, where am I? So when you're ready, Bonzo, just start reading away.
One says at Bonzo-chan, ooh woo.
There's an oof sound for you.
Oof. Oh, hey, I like Roblox. It's pretty sick.
It was the Mario oof though.
Oh, it's the Mario oof. Oh, all right. Mario 64 is trash. Just kidding.
Sorry, I don't play trash games.
There's 2 Scoops. Hey, what's up, 2 Scoops XD? Let's see. Well, Bonzo, how do you feel about isometric tactical games? And do you think you'll someday put your spin in the genre?
Well,
Man, like, I can't even remember the name right now. XCOM. That game is because that kind of genre, man. If I was trying to make a spin on that game, it'd probably be like something like Legend of Legaia, where you have like a whole like combo mist or something like that, you know? So like when you're going out and you're gonna like attack an enemy or something like that, then you have like combo inputs and all that stuff. Because that's what it'd be. Because I think that game's just really fun. You're able to just add some like elements from fighting games into it, you know?
yeah, I think I really like the Fire Emblem game on mobile. The only thing I didn't appreciate of it is all the fan service. Guys, I'm not a fan service guy, all right? You know, I watch the shoujo anime every once in a while, but yeah. So I think I love how simple the Fire Emblem. What's it even called? Fire Emblem Heroes or something. That I love how simple and the mobile controls for that. And if I did make a game like that, it probably would be a mobile game. But just like something that has really nice artwork, chunky artwork, that's easy to see, easy to read, and yeah, just something along the lines of that. And I'd make it more casual though, because I feel like those games are so like they're very niche because they're not as broad. And I think I would try to make like the Kirby equivalent of those types of games in Sakurai's terms. So
that would be nice. Also, not as a gacha.
Yes, yeah. Dude, I just that's why I can't stand like mobile games at all. I play Solitaire on my phone, and the ads I see on there, and just like the other games, and I just can't stand like playing for 2 seconds and like getting an ad for some random thing that's some fake ad about some fake thing that doesn't exist. The game of like, those mobile ads are just a little too crazy for me. They're a little too chaotic. All right, next question.
All right. Oh man, so many questions. Let's see.
Super Cattails though is amazing. Yeah, I love Jonathan. Neutronize is just like, his games are incredible.
So much. I use Godot like Goodgis. I basically end up being a point where I usually use the same stuff as Goodgis, so that we can actually go and just like work together on different projects and all that. And so I can also just get a grasp of what he's trying to figure out. Because usually what happens is that sometimes what it ended up being beforehand was like I was like using like Game Maker Studio for a long time, and then it went to like Construct when we were working on like the Whizbirds games.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
And then we ended up. I like kind of did like a little swerve onto like I was about to say GD script. That's not an engine.
G develop.
Yeah, G develop. Yeah, I was gonna do a swerve to G develop because I was like, oh hey, this is kind of like a Construct 3 a little bit, you know. So I was like messing around with it, you know, seeing if I could just throw some pigments at it or something. But then I ended up just going to like Godot after that because I was like, hey, look, it's like a free and open source type of program, which is like totally unlike something like Construct 3, because there was a point where I was just using so much Construct 3 to like make projects and all that stuff. And so I was like, yeah, Godot, it's just the place to go for me.
Yeah, only it's definitely our favorite here at the Fearth group. I think some people still mess around with. We use Construct on occasion, and Crepe still has an affinity towards Game Maker, but I'm just like, I'm a Godot bro now, man. So,
let's see. What is Goodgis and I? What are our favorite anime? Man, I think it depends on the mood, right? For me, like, Trigun is like one of my favorite anime ever.
Yeah, that's definitely a top one for me.
That's a classic.
That's like the one anime that you and I like both like almost equally like it.
Fantastic. Like Knives is so good.
This game is definitely, specifically this area is very like Trigun inspired.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, Goodgis and I were just like, yeah, I was talking to Goodgis about like weird, like about cowboy bee stuff and all this stuff. And it just ended up turning into like making like an whole area about it, you know?
Yeah, it kind of evolved, but I'm so happy with how it's all turned out. It's something I didn't really talk. It came out of the blue, but I'm really happy with how the area is turning out. But future games, Goodgis.
Let's see.
I'm trying to think of another.
Bonzo. What game genre is your favorite? Oh, that's a difficult one because I like a lot of game genres. Like there's some days, you know, where I just like to shoot, right? Like first person shooters, all that. And then like another day, I might want to play like an action game, like God Hand, for example, right? Like character action. Like that's a lot of fun. And then another day, I might be all like, you know what? Today I'm just gonna do some like Final Fantasy 14 and all that stuff. You know, just fun learning different skills with like Blue Mage and all that. And then there's just those Metroid days where I'm like, hey, it's time for Metroid Zero Mission, and I just play that game again. I just play that game. I don't know what's up with Metroid Zero Mission, but it's like I can just always do start from the beginning of that game and just like go through it as many times as possible.
That's awesome. It's cool having those games that you go back to though. There's something about it, like bouncing around from game to game, and like, I don't know, me personally, like I just want to go back to Ocarina of Time all the time, and Sonic Adventures, and I'm always looking to sneak some Chow system into a game. But yeah, that's like, yeah, I think adventure, kind of action adventure platformer games are like my favorite. Like that and Zelda likes, I'll just call them that. But and I guess I love me some RPGs as well. So I'm a big fan of, like I said, the Paper Mario series, but it just has to be like, it depends on the RPG. Like I'm a big fan of RPGs that are that do something that kind of shake it up. But even then, I'm like, I also love some good old grindy, just sitting there for 5 hours straight kind of RPGs, like RuneScape, like MMO wise, RuneScape, or like Monster. I keep wanting to say Monster Quest, not Monster Quest. No, Dragon Quest. There we go. It's confusing those together. Monster Quest is like an old 2000s TV show.
Oh, my brain was like, oh yeah, Monster Quest. You mean like Adventure Quest? No, that's a different game. The closest thing I would think about that is it's like a grindy game other than 14 is probably like Final Fantasy 6. But Final Fantasy 6 is weird because it also shakes itself up, kind of like Paper Mario. Yeah. Because there's a character that literally you have to like press like different buttons to use like special abilities.
Whoa.
And like also the grinding in it for at least the Pyxel remaster is not too bad at all. Like it actually feels really smooth, and it has a really fun class system to learn like every other spell in the game. So it doesn't feel too boring. There's always like something new to learn in the game.
Yeah, I have to check out I haven't played, the only Final Fantasy game I've really like played through all the way was Final Fantasy 3 remake on the DS. And that was like one of my favorite games growing up as a kid. It's not like the best game, but like when you're younger, those types of games are just so, you got time to kill, and a grindy game is just great. But yeah, I don't know. There's some beauty to like some deceptively simple RPG that is kind of fun. Like Earthbound Zero is one of my top games of all time, and Dragon Quest, or I guess it's called Dragon Warriors in the US, the first game. But those games are just really, they're just fun. Paper Mario. But anywho, all right. Next question. I'm just kidding.
Please don't throw spoon, please. Let's see. Really, Kobe, do you even read my messages? Yes. I can see them. They were asking about Godot, questions about main script that creates instances on my enemy, but use a different scene, all that stuff.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Spicy.
I don't think I need too much help with that because I'm like too busy, like, because I like right now my brain is like on like 3D, and I'm still pretty new personally because it's always like me like jumping like back and forth with that one with like certain parts of like Godot, because it's like for me it's like I'm always going to like one aspect of Godot and then I'm like jumping to another. Like right now I'm doing a lot of 3D work right now because I was like thinking like, you know, it would be cool if we just like make a lot of like games inspired by like older ones, you know, like Star Fox and all that stuff. But I think that just happened because I just played a whole bunch of like Spark the Electric Jester, like 2 and 3, and I was like, oh man, it's like people making good Sonic games again.
Yeah. Everyone except for Sonic Team. No, I'm kidding.
There's so many Sonic fan games these days that it doesn't make me feel too sad about like where Sonic is in like 3D realm, because there's so many people that's been like inspired by their past titles, all that stuff that make just such good quality games these days, you know?
Just wait until we make our Sonic Adventure games.
Can't wait for that one.
Let's see. Have you guys played Hyper Light Drifter? I will let Bonzo answer this because I have not played it.
I love Hyper Light Drifter. It was one of my favorite indie games of all time, actually. Yeah, like when I think of an indie game, like, and that's like just one that I don't hear too many people talk about all the time. I get like, at least not in like my bubble. Like Hyper Light Drifter is just like out there. I just like the tone of it, like the music, like the colors, you know, the isolation. It's just an amazing game. And it's really just like, it's also like fun and short, and you can just like remember a lot of the different areas like easily after like going through it, and you can just like zip through in that game. Combat is fun too, because at first it feels a little sluggish when you play the game, but then the more that you play it, it's like it just kind of just snaps together, you know, and you just get into a flow in it, and the game is like a million miles per hour.
It just speeds up. All right, there's a lot of questions, so I'm gonna pause for a second just so we can fly through these, because I want to make sure we're not missing any. And I'm getting into the zone. Okay. Dharma Dev says, do you remember playing New Super Mario Bros. Wii Goodgis? I do remember playing it. It was a pretty good game. Okay, let's see. Do we have any tips for a programmer trying to learn pixel art? I'm struggling with it. The best thing you could do is to obviously watch some tutorials to get started, but it's all going to come down to practice. I know that sounds that's the dirty word around here, but you're going to want to practice and look at reference. Like one thing that Bonza really taught me is if something looks pretty to you, to save a screen, take a screenshot of it or save it to your computer of like an art style or just anything. It could be an illustration or whatever, a cool song. And then by doing that, you kind of create a mood board, is what we like to call it in the industry, the design world. And you create a mood board that you can look at and be like, hey, I want to try to learn this style, or I really like this art style. And then you just study it. But But if you're a beginner, then definitely start with the fundamentals. Bonsai, I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
Oh no, just like reference and all that is good. Just doing studies on it. Just like, you know, like seeing like, oh, I like the colors on like this drawing, you know, like, and just trying to like replicate a lot of that stuff, and then just taking all those different types of like different types of like art that you like, and just putting it all together into one, and just constantly like taking that Play-Doh of art and just constantly just like mesh it around, you know, just like pull the dough and putting it all together into something new and different, you know.
It's making me hungry.
Yeah, when we want to make a pizza after stream, dude.
We might. Oh boy. All right. I'm gonna fly through a couple of these, so we're gonna keep our answers really short here.
Okie dokie.
Okay, do you like putting Easter eggs in games, like hidden characters, areas, and stuff? Yes, we like to put stuff in. I don't know, I can't think of too many examples, but we're always sneaking something in. I don't know, I can't think of any examples. Well, there is something in Whizbird that's kind of secret stuff. But yeah, anyway, we like to, but I'm not going to tell you what they are, so yeah, we'll leave it up to you. Goodgis, do you know about the YouTuber Get Mads? He also has a cute Nintendo like art style like yours. I don't know if I've ever heard of him. I'll have to check him out. Gotta bounce. Love you guys. Goodgis, Bonzo, Kiwi, thanks so much for streaming today. Looking forward to playing the demo. Dude, thank you so much for hanging out. I'm gonna play a little sound for you.
Hey, you very good.
Mario says see you next time. So, Goodgis, have you played the Messenger? If not, you definitely should when you have time. I have not. Is that like an alien game?
It's a game that you play as a ninja, and it's inspired by a whole bunch of like old platformers and like action platformers like Ninja Gaiden and all that.
I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
It's an alien game. I'm thinking of like I don't know. There's some other alien game someone was talking about that reminded me of.
Alien Hominid?
I don't know if it was that, but it was I don't know. Anywho, Goodgis is entering the zone. Yeah, guys, I get like really focused. Get into the working zone here, so I'm trying to do my best.
Oh yeah, Alpaca, I totally was the best waifu at one point. I remember those days. Knuckles holding me.
Knuckles holding. How do you load in rooms? I just do scene transitions. Just look up scene transitions in Godot. It's not too terribly complicated. Let's see. All right. Let's see if there's any other. What are those particles on Poe? They're a secret, and you'll have to find out later on.
Lonely Float, you are here. Are you doing the best you can?
Lonely Float. He floats when no one else can.
Yeah, I didn't know that the Messenger was a metroidvania. I don't know. I've seen only like a little bit of the Messenger.
I knew it was just because of those top 10 lists. It's like top 10 Metroidvanias.
Top 10 Metroidvanias.
Dewdrop Dynasty. No, I was kidding.
Dewdrop Dynasty.
Number 1.
The spooky piano from Mario 64.
It's always on the list.
Every time.
Wait, what's the name of the song? It's edited and I love it. What song? What song are you talking? Are you talking about the song that's playing right now? I think it's Mario Odyssey. Goodgis, do you guys like text adventures and colony simulation games? Those are very different. Text adventures, I think, are really fun. They're great. Like, they're good if you're learning to program. That's like my go-to thing whenever I'm like learning a new language. I always want to make a text adventure game. Colony building games, the only thing I can think of is like an RTS game like Age of Empires, but I haven't really played any colony building games. You know what I have been playing recently is Creep TD, that old tower defense game. I've been really into tower defenses recently, and that game's just awesome. It's like a multiplayer tower defense game.
Lonely Float got it. Number 15, Burger King foot lettuce.
Oh gosh. No. How tall are you? I'm 7'8". Don't fact check me on that. I found out. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that. Moving on. Around how many music tracks are going to be in the game? Does your composer have a Twitter or other social media so I can listen to his music? Right now he's done about 4 or 5 tracks. There's going to be a lot more. That's the plan. We might also have some guest tracks, but you'll find more about that. You guys are going to be so ticked off because this is my answer to everything, but you'll find more about all this stuff soon. And there could be a potential that there's a lot more tracks. Who knows? We could have Sakurai compose a track. No, I was kidding.
Yeah, Sakurai.
Sakurai's like, yes, I am composing this game.
We compose it with 2 GameCube controllers.
This game is not going to be free, unfortunately. What is your favorite Paper Mario? Mine is Super Paper Mario. Okay. I respect the fact that you like Super Paper Mario because I really do. I think it's one of the most underrated Paper Mario games. It's a great spin-off. That's the best way of saying it because I think a lot of people got disappointed because it wasn't Paper Mario. But the game is great. I love Super Paper Mario. I will say though, the original Paper Mario is just my favorite. It just has the best aesthetic to it. It's cute. It's amazing. I wish I could make a game like it. I don't wish. I will make a game like it. Just wait. I want to be in the wholesome game stream or game direct with my Paper Mario style game. Actually, if you look at the characters I designed, our PNG tuber characters, that's the Paper Mario art style. So,
Gonna lie that a lot of the stuff when I'm like designing things for like Goodgis and it's supposed to be style similar to them, I just look up Paper Mario stuff a lot of the time as like reference.
Yep. No, we don't like Paper Mario at all. How tall is Bonzo? He's about 3'1". Like
yeah. The chance of him being smaller than you is very high.
If you've seen the Lord of the Rings, I'm basically Gandalf, and he's like Frodo.
Yeah, so huge, man. Like sometimes when I would just see him on the wagon, I'd go Gandalf.
No, I have no idea. We're probably around the same height. We're probably like a nice even 7'4".
Hey, I'm 7'4".
Where's Poe? Is he like in Germany or something? Why do you? Is this what Germany looks like? Germany doesn't look like this. This isn't the Black Forest. You are very much mistaken. No.
I've never been in Germany.
That's true. That's a fair point. No, this is not Germany though. Goodgis, a rolling barrel hazard enemy would be cool for this area. We'll make him Donkey Kong.
Yeah, just put him in there. So like grab one of those Donkey Kong like countries like sprites, just like paste it in the game.
Yes, we will. You know, my uncle works at Nintendo, so I'm sure I can get permission. To do that. I'm just kidding. What's this? Poe's a dictator. What is happening? Are you gonna make a Dewdrop sequel? Well, let's just finish this one and we'll find out.
Yeah, the answer is if we're in the mood.
I think that's to be expected. If the game does well, it's to be expected. If it doesn't do well, then I don't know.
Yeah. Keep in mind that we also when Dewdrop is done, we also have like other projects at the side and a whole bunch of other ideas, that we also want to create. So it's like, sure, there's always a chance that there's gonna be a sequel for Dewdrop, but it's like we also gonna be like focusing on like a whole bunch of other ideas that we just want to like turn into like a real video game, you know?
Yeah, we do have too many ideas and not enough time to do them. So the awesome thing is Dewdrop's success will set up the future of a lot of other exciting games. And of course, like if the game does really well, we want to we don't want to be like, no, people love this game, we're gonna make idle games now, which I have no issue with idle games. I actually kind of like them, but idle clickers. But so yeah, we really like we have many ideas. As you can tell, if you've watched any videos on this channel, you can tell that we're always thinking about new things. We got to finish Blizzard Blowout. We've talked about doing 3D games. That's really where I would like to go next, is try some 3D games and like in the retro, like PS1 kind of style, and then online games. I would love to have other people lead games as well, so instead of just me. So you definitely will see Bonzo direct some game at some point.
Some point.
It'll probably be one that features a gun in it or something.
Yeah, I wonder what that game's gonna be.
We're basically gonna make Devil May Cry, but like Paper Mario art style.
Yeah, Devil May Cry,
Paper Cut May Cry.
That's, oh dude, that's so funny.
Newt says, do you play Stardew Valley?
Oh, have I played Stardew Valley? No, I'm busy with Animal Crossing and Final Fantasy 14. Final Fantasy 14 has like a new feature where you have your own island, and you're like gathering a whole bunch of materials from the island and like planting and like building like a whole bunch of like workshops, so you can just make a whole bunch of supplies and stuff. So and then Animal Crossing is the other game that I've been playing so far, and I don't think I've really like found any time to play another game.
Oh, come on, man, you can't play 3.
Oh, I'll probably play at some point, but it's like,
yeah, no.
You know, it's one of those things where those type of games are just like the ultimate chill games.
They are.
You know, so it's like you gotta be really in the mood for that type of thing when I play a bunch of other like games. They're different.
And sometimes I'm like, I could be working on my house in real life instead of working on this fake farm. But no, yeah, they are fun. Kiwi and I play them. Like we'll go off and on going back to Stardew Valley because it is a really good game. Eric did a very excellent job. I act like I know Eric. I'm like, oh, Eric, he did an amazing job. Yeah, Eric Barone. So I'm excited for the Chocolatier and other games he's got planned. So
wait, Lonely Float. Lonely Float just said, "Oh my gosh, I just realized the other person was Bonzo."
Oh, you didn't. I should have had name tags here. In the future, we will. Yeah, this is joined by Bonzo. Low Life Alpaca, can you explain why Bonzo is waifu material? I wonder how many brothers Poe has. He's the only child.
Don't you remember the statue? Alright, let's see. Bonzo-san, do you want to start building a house atop a small hill in a sunflower field, an endless summer, and die old together?
What?
That would sound pretty chill.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what together is, but...
What's your childhood? That's a deep question.
What was it, really? Well, my childhood, it was battle, it was war. That's what it felt like.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah, dude. That's how middle school was in there. There was like a fight. There was like crazy fights all the time. Like you couldn't go through like a single like room without someone trying to slap the back of your head. So it's one of those things where it just becomes a part of you, where it's like now you're just like checking the corner sometimes. We're out in like public. Oh yeah.
That's yeah, it's sad how mean people are in public school. I was homeschooled, so Crepe was my he was my bully. No, I was kidding. He didn't really bully me.
No, you're very fortunate on that side. Yeah, yeah, lonely quote, jaded and cynical from middle school.
Oh boy.
I mean, I guess a little bit. Like, man, it was crazy. Like, it's one of those things where you find out how crazy something really was when there's not many other places that were actually like it.
Yeah, I bet. It just hearing like what I've known, like everyone talking about it, I'm like, how do people how do people survive?
Yeah. Man, let's see. What is it? Newt says, Bonza-san, do you like fun? I mean, guns. I mean, Shadow the Hedgehog is one of my favorite Sonic games, so probably, yeah. Yeah, guns in game are fun.
Guns and games. Don't tell Vilmark that.
Mark hates guns.
Yeah, or something like that.
The last Vimlark video I remember watching was probably the one where it was like you trying to make like Kid Icarus.
Oh yeah, that was fun. It was fun. I would love to get more of do more challenges like that. It'd be fun to have Kiwi do it or you do it as well, Bonzo, because you got the skills to pay the bills, man. Dino says, I love you. I love you too. Here's my love sound. Do I consider myself religious? Are you asking if I'm like a Christian or something? I don't consider myself religious, but I believe in God. It's a deep question. This has been a very deep stream.
That's how it gets sometimes.
It sounds like a brook, like a water, like a river, a water. A deep stream. Now, do you understand why the average person likes dark, moody, or horror games? Public school has scared us all. Yeah, and I understand that. But here's the thing, guys. Just because you went through a hellish experience doesn't mean you need to continue to go through a hellish experience. That's my mindset on it.
I think it's like this because I just talked about how terrible like middle school is.
Let's see. I believe in the act of eating my enemies' hearts. What are you, Mayan or something? Oh boy. This you feel like a Kingdom Hearts villain. I believe in the act of eating my enemy's heart.
It's the only way that we'll become free. Become a somebody and not a nobody.
If you believe in God, do you believe in yourself? I don't believe I'm a god. Whenever people call me Godgis, I cringe a little inside.
Yeah, because he feels a little bit like Kanye every time. Aw, Penguins, hope middle school is way better for you than it was for me.
I don't use Unity because I believe in God. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I know. Well, people are surprised by that statement. I don't consider myself religious, but I believe in God. Because religion is not the same as being Christian. I know that's confusing. Religious is doing something like, if you have, say you believe in a religion that believes in eating zucchini. And so every day you wake up and you eat zucchini 3 times a day to meet your religion. That's what religion is. It's works, when really it should be about relationship. That's as deep as you're gonna get me.
Truth, no cap.
Y'all believe in Kanye? No, he doesn't exist.
Who's that?
Kanye doesn't exist. He's Kanye's just a VTuber. He's just basically Hatsumi Miku. He's a hologram.
Yeah. She made Minecraft.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see. Oh, this is an interesting question. Goodgis, why don't you use no game engine and use Vim and get stuck in Vim so you have to work always?
I do use Vim, but not for this. When I was on Linux, I used Vim, but I'm on Windows right now just because Windows doesn't like Linux, and it uninstalled Linux, and it made me sad, and I need both right now, so that's kind of my deal right now. But no, Vim's great. There's a saying that Vim is for men. I totally did not just make that up. And if you're not a man, you can still use Vim. Kanye from Fortnite? Was he in Fortnite?
I don't know. I could look it up.
Kanye. You can have a personal belief in God. Guys, this is deep. I'm proud of us. We're growing together. Kanye is like Mario's cousin.
I'm tired.
How'd you get rid of the 3D tab? You just go to editor and you go to I'm sorry, you gotta go to editor and then you go to editor features and then you just disable assets in 3D and then you make it your active one. I just don't like all the clutter. I'm a clutter free kind of guy. Goodgis, who's my favorite game dev? Kiwi. No. All right, I'm gonna say indie game dev. I'm gonna say YouTube game dev, indie game dev, and then actual game dev. Like that sounds bad. AAA game dev. I would say Jonathan from Neutronize is one of my top game devs here on YouTube. Huge fan of his work. Indie game devs, I would say. This is really weird and obscure, but Froach. I really love Froach. Froach Studios, they made Melon Journey and games, a couple smaller games, but I love the feel of their games. And then AAA would have to be, I don't know. Like, I'm just trying to think of, I don't like. It's funny because I'm just thinking about games and who's the guy? Was it Yuji Naka that worked on Sonic? Am I saying that wrong? Is that the right? Is that the right person I'm thinking of? I don't know.
Yuji Naka?
Yeah, is that the?
That's a bad boy these days.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like Sonic Adventures was a great game, but I don't know. Maybe Sakurai. I just like his mindset. What's not to love about Sakurai?
Play Kanye Quest 3000. Oh, dude, that game is so old, dude. I think Kanye Quest was like a game that was made in RPG Maker, and that game was like, oh man, it was like one of those like trash post games, man. It was kind of amazing. One of the earliest things I remember that is just like you like dodging a laser or something, being all like and kind of being like, don't let me get into my zone. You can't let Kanye get into his zone or you lose. Like that game, yeah. It reminded me of how crazy games like Chaos Dunk. Yeah, basketball RPG where you gotta time your shots to hit the enemy for extra damage. All that.
I have never listened to Kanye, or maybe like I have, but I don't listen to a lot of mainstream music.
Yeah, I think I only listened to like the first few albums, honestly, back in like the 2000s. Like I think it was called like Graduation, and then like that's it. I don't listen to any of his like new stuff.
Yeah, I honestly don't. I really didn't get into like I love some. I don't even know what you would call his genre, but of music, because it seems like he has a nice variety there. But yeah, I just like growing up. I was like really into video game music. Now I pretty much like everything except for country music. I like 2 country songs. Maybe I take that back. I only like 1 country song, and even then it's I'm kind of bitter about it.
Yeah. Hey, at least you found that one good one. Because one thing I found out about music is that it's like, usually even if you don't like a genre, you can always at least find like one song in there that you could actually really like, you know?
Yeah.
And you haven't, if you don't like the entire genre, you haven't found the right song yet.
This is true. Buddy Games, thank you so much for the super chat. Dude, you're always like popping in here and being so nice, man. Thank you so much.
Whoa.
Hi, Gis. Just home from the bar and just want to say I'm in a motivational slump just before uni. How to get my motivation for making vids and games back? Well, you got to sit down. Here's how you got to do it. You got to sit down. You got to watch 3 Goodgis videos. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, it's hard. It's especially during summer. It's easy to get out of the groove of making games. What I like to do is I like to play some games, and then I like to chat with my friends about games. You know, like you need people to keep you accountable. A game jam's a good way to get you back into the groove. So it is hard. It's easy. And I think it's okay to take breaks. Like I want everyone to know, like, I don't think you should be like obsessed about like making games 24/7. Like it's good to take breaks. You'll make better games because of it. Yeah, I think really it's probably doing a game jam would help. Like because hopping back into a game, if you don't have any motivation, like why work on a game in the first place? Like it's a deep question. Why work on video games? You kind of need a purpose to do something. It's like why open up a grocery store and become a business owner? Like it's kind of like arbitrary. But if you think about, I want to do it, if you have a goal in mind, like I want to enter a game jam and see if I can place in the top 20 or whatever. Like give yourself a goal and a purpose, and you'll find that you'll get stuff done a lot faster. So that's kind of what it is, and don't beat yourself up. We all go through it, and that's pretty much it. What made you leave Construct? I only wanted to use Construct just for online games, and I just got tired of being limited with online games. Like it's a great piece of software. Don't get me wrong. It's fantastic. But yeah, I just got a little tired of being limited on like Godot is just like once you actually use like a big main game engine, you'll understand. You'll be like, why did I use this? So, and it seems like, Construct is so fast, like Godot would be slower, right? But there's actually things in Construct that are way slower than Godot. Like doing anything with sprites in Construct is like pulling teeth. It just takes forever. And in Godot it's so fast because you're just images and you can update things really quickly. So everything has its pro and cons. So you just have to weigh it that way. So I make better games by blood sacrifice. What are you, like donating blood? Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, I think that's pretty useful, but you know, at what cost, you know?
Is the background music here from Dewdrop Dynasty? It is not. Once I have enough Dewdrop music to play in the background, I totally will. Peter's been doing an awesome job working on the music. Super excited to keep sharing with you guys. Actually, if you join the Patreon, you can hear some of the tracks on there. He's done a really good job. It's turning out more anime than expected, and I'm not opposed to it. So yeah, give it a. I feel like I posted somewhere. Actually, in my last devlog, there's a couple tracks by Peter in there. So, but in October, all shall be revealed. All shall be revealed. Trust me.
Man, I'm so excited for those tracks. Some of them are really good.
Yeah, and he keeps getting better. Like each track, he just keeps getting better and better. He's really figuring out his groove for it. So I would love to have as many tracks as possible. So that's my mindset with it. We will just pay him until there's nothing left to do.
If Dewdrop would cost over $100, I wouldn't buy it. Oh, guess what? We're not Nintendo.
Yeah. Yes, $60 for our 30-minute game. No, Dewdrop will be longer than 30 minutes, but I don't honestly, I have no idea how long it's going to be. And really my mindset, people ask like, when's Dewdrop going to be finished? Well, like I said, some secret stuff in the works that will speed up the process significantly. And I mentioned this last stream, but the next video is totally going to give it away. So stay tuned for that next video. But we aren't going to release the game until it's good and it's long enough. Like I'm not going to be like, all right, well, I guess I'm going to release it now. And it's like some terrible unfinished game that we charge $15. It has to feel like it's worth $15. Can Godot do online good? Yes. I mean, it can do it well. Let's see. Cough, Breath of the Wild 2.
No games come out on time ever. That's what it's like for like a lot of the Zelda games. Like they usually have multiple delays until they're finally released. It is kind of a surprise though how Breath of the Wild 2 is taking so long, considering that it's based off of a game that's already made.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how much they changed it, you know?
Yeah, they must have there must have been a lot of changes to it. Like they must have been just constantly changing the concept for the entire game for it to just like take so long, you know?
Bob Ross asks, what happened to Blizzard Blowout 64? Just kidding. I know it's how long games take, especially indie studios. Yeah, we've kind of like the guy like Bonzo and Brad and Crape are working out on the side, but we kind of got to as far as we could without like me actively being involved in it. And I'm like, either I don't finish Dewdrop or I finish Dewdrop. And I made a commitment to myself to actually finish this game. I don't want to be like that guy that's like, hey guys, yeah, sorry to announce, I just don't feel like working on this game anymore. I lost motivation. You know, I've been playing Fortnite and just lost motivation for Dewdrop, so I don't want to do that. That's my impression of generic game devs. I don't know.
We're still thinking about it though.
Yeah, we are. I think we think about it all the time. I sit down, I dream about it. I count the days. I don't do that. That's right. Games that take long are always better than games that are rushed. Yeah, we don't want.
That's true.
This isn't gonna be Sonic Boom.
This isn't gonna be every Sonic game that has the release date of winter time or holiday. Don't you notice that there's a lot of Sonic games where it's like the biggest red flag is that the release date is like holiday, like 20 something something.
I know. Coming out this no, don't do it. No.
The game's not gonna be good.
I think I'm done with this area. This area turned out different than on the map, but you know what? That is totally fine.
Yeah. It's not gonna be perfectly one-to-one, you know? It's like what they say about development, right? Like that most of the time, the highest that you would get to your original idea would be 70%.
I actually didn't know that.
And that's pretty good.
And that's no good. No, just kidding. Wait, there's a lot of questions here. Goodgis, is the game going to be hard? Like you die a lot? They'll be difficult. We're gonna make it. It will be hard for the people that want it to be difficult, but there'll be settings and options. Because my whole thing is, there's gonna be a lot of exploration and cool stuff to the game, and I don't want to just like make it jarring where it's super difficult. But for like the people that love difficult games that really want to challenge, we'll add some challenge to it. Don't worry. Like I said, well, it's hard to kind of guess how much challenge we'll have with the game right now because like you guys haven't played it, and so I don't know what's challenging to you guys. It could be easy for me but challenging for you guys because I've just been playing all the time. So we'll balance it. That's what all good games do. So Goodgis, can you do a British accent? I'm going to give you tea if you do. I don't like. Okay. You know who can do a good British accent is Crape. Crape can do like one of the best British accents. We had a friend from the UK visit, and Crepe did the accent for him, and he was like blown away by it. He said that was the best British accent he's ever heard an American do. I'm not at that level. I'm trying to think the one line. I'm not doing like everyone wants to do like the Queen's English, but that's not very accurate. I can't think of the line, guys. You put me on the spot here.
Just do like a Xenoblade voice or something.
Yeah, that's a good. Hey, Shulk, you got the Monado there? That's terrible.
Oh yeah, I'm turning up the heat. You're really getting into this Rhine.
Yeah, now it's Rhine time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, let's see what they say.
I could do one. It's like, you flip metal, man. There you go. Now that I've insulted half the continent of the UK, which is definitely not a continent. Okay, where's Bob the Pot? He's hiding. Is there a reference to? I'm not even gonna say that. Oh, we don't talk about Sonic videos around here. How long have you been working on your game for? I'm really new to this channel. Oh boy. I mean, off and on, Bonzo, we been working on this 2 years, 3 years? But like, there's been a good chunk of time we didn't do anything. Like last year, I probably only worked on Dewdrop for like a month. So it's, if you add all the development time together, it's probably not that long, but yeah, the past 3 or 4 months, I've been pretty dedicated to only working on this though. And that's my goal, is to only work on this. I'm really hoping that if I just focus on this and with some other secret things planned, that it should only take, it shouldn't take that much longer. Or, well, don't take that the wrong way. It's still gonna take some time. We're not even close to announcing anything, so.
Why is he just saying just British version of water? Well,
What?
Let's see. What? I don't have hair.
I
I'm
might
a robot.
go away.
Let's see.
I always go into like a New Zealand or Australian accent. Like, I watch a lot of behind the scenes of like Lord of the Rings stuff, and you have some people that are like, Peter Jackson is an amazing director. How did I get my name? It's from RuneScape. I wanted to be a good guy, but it was taken. just like my Twitter handle and my GitHub handle. People are name sniping.
Wow, that was one of the fastest summaries of the name yet.
Yeah, I've gotten much faster at that, haven't I?
Yeah.
I was literally explaining it to like relatives recently, and I was kind of embarrassed. I'm like, it's nothing.
Let's see. Bonzo-san, you should make Call of Duty Black Ops 3 in a game jam in 30 minutes, start to finish. Maybe. Well, if it is, it's gonna be really anime.
Shigeru Miyamoto joined the stream as a guest and now is helping Goodgis to do Dewdrop. That's pretty accurate. Bonzo is the Shigeru Miyamoto of Fearth. Actually, you're more like a Sakurai, aren't you?
Sakurai. I mean, I guess I do like Iori in KOF.
I'm like...
And I do like Kirby. And I like a lot of edgelords like Sakurai does. I just play like the games. Sakurai is like next level because he's like, yeah, dude, I'm gonna go play and beat 60 games every single year. And make video games at the same time.
Gosh. What's your combat level in OSRS? I don't even know. Why are you bringing this up? You trying to show me up? No, I think it's pretty high for my standards. Like, I think it's like 80 something, which is like the highest it's ever been. But yeah, that's an OSRS. Actually, Reese, I'm gonna try to get a couple of the game dev guys and maybe the Fearth guys, whoever's interested, to do like a Iron Man run of OSRS. It's a great game with friends, not so much by yourself. Okay, so we're kind of getting here towards the end of the stream. So what I want to do is just chat, answer some questions. Any other things, if you want me to show you around with Dewdrop, I can. But we'll answer your questions. I'll actually focus on the chat here. So shoot away. Shoot some questions. Yeah, you guys already have, but Goodgis, if you had to start over from scratch, how much would you split your time between game dev and YouTube? So here's the funny thing. It's like, if you don't have a YouTube channel, then nobody knows about your game, and then your game won't do well. But if you only focus on your YouTube channel, then you're not really a game dev, and you don't have videos, like, you don't actually have games to work on. So it's like, it's just a fine line. I would love to post more on YouTube. That's my goal. But recently it's been a little tricky with everything I'm trying to get done with Dewdrop. So I just kind of go back and forth. Some months I post more, some months I work on games more. So thoughts on Sonic Frontiers? I haven't played it yet, so it looks cool. I'm interested.
I think the newest trailer looks a little bit more polished than the previous ones.
I actually haven't seen it yet. We'll watch it right after the stream. For those who don't know, Bonzo's in person, in studio, live at the Goodgis headquarters. Will Dewdrop Dynasty get console ports? I'm really hoping for Switch and maybe Xbox. And I heard, someone said that you could export Xbox pretty easily from Godot. So, and then PS4 is not off the table. I don't think it would be PS5, but PS4. But I have no plans for that right now. It's really just the PC release, and then the Switch would be awesome.
What about the Vita?
We'll have Polymers do that port.
It would be funny to get like a port for like a systems that's like store is about to close down.
Luke the Duke, my favorite book in the Bible is probably Proverbs. Or Mark, because it's my name.
Oh, dude.
That's like the most vain thing. It's like, my favorite book in the Bible is my name.
And I bet your brother's favorite is Luke.
Are you going to release any gameplay or footage or a trailer? Yes. Hopefully. So there's so much we want to do in October. I keep talking about October. October is a spooky month for a lot of people, but it's going to be not so spooky for Dewdrop fans. It's spooky if you don't like Dewdrop. but you'll see stuff there. Jessix, have a good one. Mario wants to say goodbye to you.
Hey, you very good.
Take care, gamer.
See you next time.
Have you ever thought of making a couch co-op game? Yeah, I actually did a while ago called Spoop 'em Good. Don't ask me about it. I was kidding. It was like a weird like Smash Bros. Party game I made in Construct. I would love to. That's kind of what we want to do with Blizzard Blowout. We want to add more cooperative stuff. How long have you and Bonzo been in a relationship? And what does Kiwi think about your affair? I'll get back to you on that one. Is there Goodgis and the rest of the team NPCs inside the game? No, not currently. I kind of think it's weird to add like internet personas in a game, but maybe we'll add them. I don't know. We'll probably add NPCs based off of our temperaments. I think that's kind of funny. Oh no, there's shipping happening.
What do you mean? We're not on a boat.
Are you going to add enemies on stream? No, partly because the enemies aren't fully finished in this area. So you have to wait and see. Guys, I can't spoil everything. Otherwise, there's going to be... I mean, I can, but you're going to play the demo and you're like, wow, everything he did on stream is in the demo. Why is that? It's like, because I'm spoiling it. I deserve a million subs. You're so kind. Thank you. Can we see more Dewdrop streams? What would you guys like to see with Dewdrop streams? Pyxel is way easier, but I could do more like level design stuff. I could put Bonzo in the hot seat and have him do live concept art. He's gonna be like, oh wait, I can't hear you. Oh no.
There's gonna be like one line, and there's gonna be like too many people around, so there's gonna be nothing made. It's gonna be like a circle, and I'm gonna be constantly deleting the circle and then redrawing the circle for like 3 hours.
Yeah, what we'll definitely do though is when the demo comes out, we'll play through it and we'll do some like commentary about it then. How many more areas are there in the game? Well, right now there's like I don't know, there's like 5 or 6, but that may change depending on secret things. There's I'm just literally baiting you guys, but literally next, or I keep saying next month because I think it's September, but it's not September for another like 24 hours, but in October, all shall be revealed. Not all, but a lot. How did you decide how much content to put into Dewdrop? We kind of haven't. Like, it just, you're kind of playing. We have an idea, but like I said, we'll expand. If the game is like 5 seconds long, then we'll obviously we'll add to it. But you just kind of feel what's good and you cut off from there. So, is the Dewdrop Dynasty Twitter account real? It is. We just haven't done anything with it. I literally just did what I did just to claim it, but we haven't done anything else. Here, let's zoom up on Poe here. Is there a honey beehive area? There's not. If it's in Hollow Knight, it's probably not in this game.
There is a honeybee area in Hollow Knight.
Is there a Disney movie about the backstory of Poe? Yeah, it's called the Bee Movie. When's the demo being released? I'm hoping, fingers crossed, October 3rd for the Steam Fest. So, how many flowers will there be in the game? Dude, I don't know. Many. Flowers are a big theme in this game. Have you ever decided to cut content from Dewdrop? All the time. We have like, Bonzo and I have a scope creep list of stuff that we want to add, and they're like, oh, let's do this, and then like bosses, I really don't like to plan them out until I go to make them, because I'll cut them. I'll be like, oh, I should do this type boss, and like I'm like, eh. So.
Oh man, I love that. I always love that type of question, because it's always interesting just to ask a dev like how different the finished product is from its original concept. Like I've talked to one person where they made like a futuristic shooter, and I asked them that question, and they were like, it was a horror game. It was like, whoa, really? It's like completely different. Like, because a lot of the times game ideas are just like always like completely different from how they are, or they've gone through like more than a decade's worth of like change, so that they're just always changed to something else, something different. Like a game that probably was been around for like 20 years or so, maybe it was probably like Anthem, for example, by EA. Like that game has been like in the woodwork for a really, really long time, and it's a shame that it wasn't able to like come out in like a good state. But yeah, it's just games just so interesting how much they just change.
I mean, this game, it's interesting to see. This game, I mean, it has evolved quite a bit from it being kind of like Bobo robot game, like sock pop kind of cave story game, that its identity has moved all over the place, gone all over the place, but that's kind of how it is though. Like the longer you work on the game, it just evolves. Like the plan that I had from the very beginning is not where we're at today. The story was very different, and more of that stuff will be revealed as we like further devlogs and we dive into. We'll probably do a devlog on the story and stuff, but make sure you sign up for live stream slots during next Steam Fest so you get way more traffic for your demo. I didn't even know there was live stream slots. That's great to know. Thanks for sharing that, dude. If Poe's health bar is a flower, will his health stay the same the entire time? No, he loses flowers when he gets hurt.
Bonzo, son, I'm under your bed. Bonzo, I'm behind you. Watch out. Guess what? I never looked there. Got him.
And Elmo MMO, there should be a Goodgis outfit. That would be cool. That would be cool. Also, really weird side note. In order for us to do this stream today, we're like kind of in separate rooms, Bonzo and I. So I set up a giant mirror in my office so I can see Bonzo from where I'm at. We're waving to each other. How long has the stream been running? About just shy of 2 hours, I think.
Can't believe it's been that long. I feel like it's been 20 minutes.
Yeah, it goes by pretty fast. I just wish, guys, I wish I had, I should just record me working and then, seriously, and just talk during it. So you have something to watch, but, cause it's so hard doing both. Yeah, we gotta have. I gotta come with a better system. Let me know what you guys are most interested in seeing with these streams, and we'll try to work it around. But it's a balance between keeping them entertaining and also kind of productive, and also showing game dev as well. So, hi Goodgis, how are you? I'm doing well. If I knew how to pronounce your name, that symbol, I would. Is that like Cyrillic or what? Not Cyrillic. Is it? Is it Cyrillic? Is that what the alphabet's called? I don't know. MBD says Goodgis is the best YouTube in the world. Changed my mind. Kiwi's channel is better. Any tips for Godot game dev? Read the manual. It really helps, and I'm constantly learning new things, so read the manual. It's really beneficial. Is that Flowey? Oh yes, Flowey got big. Would you release the source code of Dewdrop Dynasty? No. I love open source, but not with this game, because people just take it and sell it, and yeah. What do you think of independents attempting realism in their games early on? What do you mean by independence?
Independent, like, game devs?
Attempting real... That's a very... Can you break down that question for me?
I mean, Goodgis was doing a little bit of realism in Fantasy World. I remember because we were like working on some of the designs, and then I was doing some portraits that weren't used in the game. And Goodgis is like, it's got to be realistic.
Did I say that?
You did. Yeah, this was slower. This is like in 2018, right? So like this is when like Fantasy World Original was active and everything like that. And
it's gotta be realistic.
It's gotta be realistic. We gotta add, we gotta make it realistic. That's why we gotta make all these like different spots on here for like all these sprites, all that stuff. Make it stylized.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
I remember that because we were talking about different art styles for the game at the time.
Jet says, I like PixArt streams over map building ones. Yeah, I think PixArt streams are nice because we can, you guys can interact more. I want to set up some more challenges and stuff, but what's nice about this stream is I actually got work done. Like, oh my goodness, beautiful. But yeah, I would love to do some different challenges and stuff during streams because I think I try to keep these pretty chill, but it would be fun to just have some more interaction. And last stream was really fun. Thanks so much, Mithril Age. I appreciate it. This right here, Against All Odds, is it's one area in the game. This is all I'm gonna show. It's an area that I haven't really shown, but we were doing some map building stuff. We built out these different areas for the game. Oh, don't look at that. Those crates of TNT. Oops. So just building out the map. Fun, grindy stuff. Would you allow everyone to make fan games about Dewdrop Dynasty? I mean, as long as they gave credit to the source, doesn't bother me.
It'll be pretty cool to see it.
Dewdrop is basically gonna be a metroidvania, love sim, and battle royale all mixed together. Real simple but effective. Yeah, basically. Gonna have to date this flower. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, just like in Princess Remedy.
Oh my gosh, that game's awesome.
Yeah, game's sick.
Love to see your pixel art on background and tile sprites. Thank you. Why do you have such a good voice? I don't know. Ask God, he gave it to me.
this gift for not going to middle school.
Yeah, everyone that goes to middle school loses their voice. It's like Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga when Peach, her voice becomes like violent bombs. That game is so weird.
Yeah, going through middle school and I was like.
Also, a little bit of compression and mixing makes any voice sound like 10 times better. So, how many bosses are there? There will be many. There'll be more than one and less than 100. So, there you go.
Yeah, you get like 500 bosses in the game. It's gonna be crazy, dude. Like, you know, Elden Ring, how that game had 100 bosses. Bad game.
Bad game.
We gotta get way, way more.
Do you like honey? I do. I like local honey. Have you played Night in the Woods? I have not. Pixar is one of the main reasons I want to keep working with game dev. Pixar is really cool. I enjoy it. I would love to really. I love the 3D stuff. Sometimes I go back and watch my one stream where I made NPCs for Blizzard Blowout, and I'm like, how did I do that? So 3D modeling is really fun, but Pixar is just, it's a lot easier. All right, I'm gonna actually ask Bonzo this question. What is your favorite animal, Bonzo?
My favorite animal, man. Oh man, I can only think about animals that I like because as like a joke animal. Like I think koalas are really funny because they have two pitches in their voice, so that at one point they're like, but then they can go like they're like normal bears. It's really funny. And then like there's like sloths. Those things are just weird. Like they just stay in one place for a long time. They're really slow and they have like funny faces. Look at you. Man, let's see what's a good one. Let's see. One I like aesthetically is probably skunk. Aesthetically. I don't want to be around them, but I think they're cool. They got the white stripes around them.
Apparently, you could have a skunk as a pet, and you can get that like gland drained or whatever, so they don't smell.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Let's see. What else is there?
I think the most underrated animal of all time. I'm not even making this up, and Kiwi will back me on this, but chipmunks are just the best. Not 3D horrible animated CGI Alvin and the chipmunks, but just like actual real life chipmunks. I've held one in my hand before, and it melted me.
Yeah, they're cool too. I like them. They're actually a lot smaller than I thought they were gonna be. Like those things like tiny compared to squirrels.
They are. They're super tiny. Also, hey, everyone that's peeling out, thank you so much for stopping by. Mario wants to say goodbye.
Hey, you very cool.
Low Life Alpaca, have a good one. Oliver the guy, I want to get into game dev, but I don't really have time to learn to code. Everyone has time. You just have to prioritize. Like everyone always asks me, like, how do you get so much stuff done? It's like that's just my hobby. That's what I love doing. Like I don't go to the club. I joked with Reese today that the only club I go to is Sam's Club. I love working on art. I love working on games, and that's what I do. So you make time for the things that you want to make time for.
Yeah, I think at a point it really comes to if you don't, it's like just look at your schedule and just see how open it is. See how much of it is actually filled with a lot of things that's very superfluous, and see how you can make time for it. You know. Like I remember that there was a time where it felt like that I just didn't have time to make art. But I was like, and then I just read the thing. I was like, you know, really, in reality, it's similar to what Goodgis basically just said. That it's like, you really just have to like make time for it because there's a lot of like extra time that's being used up by a lot of like other things that you don't really have to care about too much. All that.
Yeah. Okay, any advice for getting past the self-doubt that gets in the way of starting a project? Here's the thing, everyone looks like they have it all together and they don't. You may look at my stream and everything and be like, oh, Goodgis has all figured out. I don't. I'm literally trying to figure things out day by day. So you just have to be confident in yourself. What's your goal? What's your goal with your game? Find your purpose, find your goal, and then go after it. And then like you just can't. Everyone's gonna feel insecure about their game at some point. But here's the thing: if you have people play your game and give feedback, you can improve it. Like a game it's not like permanent marker. You're not like drawing something and then you can't erase it. It's like if something's not good about it, you can fix it. So goodbye to everyone that's peeling out. Goodbye. Mario wishes you goodbye.
Very good. See you next time.
What's your favorite Pixar movie? You know what? I really don't.
Favorite Pixar movie?
I really don't like Pixar that much. I know that's like so controversial, but I don't know. Pixar movies make me sad, and I don't like that. Like, someone described to me that Pixar movies, the reason they like them is because they help them process their emotions of being sad and going through stuff. But I just I'm not a big. I don't need to do that. I believe me, I process my emotions enough without watching a depressing movie. So I don't really have. I think aesthetically, I like Brave because it's just like a cool setting. It's not the best Pixar movie, but I can't think of any better ones. So I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm more of a Disney princess guy.
Yeah, I'm more of a Kingdom Hearts kind of guy.
Yeah, same. I sing Simple and Clean almost every day.
I love that old era of like electronic music. It's so weird.
Oh, it makes me simple and clean. Okay, I'm not done.
It's the world that make me feel tonight.
Pixar touches the heart. Ghibli touches the soul. No, Pixar touches your wallet.
Got him.
No, I love Ghibli films. I just watched this Secret of Arrietty, and that was a really good film. I know it's not Hayao Miyazaki, but it's still a great film.
Yeah, and I remember watching that movie in the theaters.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was such a long time ago. I think that was like literally like one of the only movies. That's the closest thing that I watched to a Ghibli film in theaters, and it's technically not that.
Yeah, a friend of ours used to live in Japan, and he's like, hey, I don't watch these movies anymore. Do you want them? And he gave us like $100 to $200 worth of like Ghibli films because they're so expensive to buy. So
Dang.
yeah, thank you. What's your favorite DreamWorks movie? Okay, that's a great question. Probably Prince of Egypt. That movie is so beautiful. Like, it's not like, I think there's some funny. It's not the funniest DreamWorks film, but just like level of quality and the score to that, like I jam out to it all the time. Prince of Egypt, excellent film. Funny wise, I think was it Rise of the Guardians or something? I think that's DreamWorks. I thought that movie was funny. Big Star Wars guy here. I'm literally wearing a Star Wars t-shirt right now. I've actually Kiwi and I have been watching we were watching some classic movies recently. We were watching like Ben-Hur and just like some old like just like top 100 movies. But recently we've been watching shoujo. We've been watching what's it called? My Love Story. It's the weirdest. Have you heard that, Bonzo?
I mean, it sounds familiar, but it's like it has one of those names that just melts with a whole bunch of other like really good anime.
It's literally about like these like high school students, but that fall in love. But one of them literally looks like massive. He looks like a 40-year-old massive giant.
He's got giant lips.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
We love that show. That show is hilarious. Yeah. Oh, I don't know how to say it, but double. I can't even say it. 198. Prince of Egypt is my favorite DreamWorks movie as well. So true, man. Yeah, it's just so good. B movie is the best. No.
B movie. It's a pretty good meme.
Have you been using Godot for how long? Probably 2 years. Over 2 years.
2 years. Wow.
2 years. 2 years of using Godot. Beautiful.
Oh, this dude's asking about favorite game OSTs. Oh boy.
You can't do that. That's unfair. How about some ones I've been listening to recently? Bonzo got me hooked on the Code Cross OST.
Crosscode.
Or Cross. I always say it backwards.
Just in case Radical Fish is listening.
Oh no.
The depths.
Crosscode. I listen to a lot of like Nintendo 64 or like GameCube era games. Banjo-Kazooie. That used to be my jam when I was back in college. But Breath of the Wild has an insane OST. I think this is Breath of the Wild right here actually playing right now, but
Oh man.
I can't think of there was one OST that just like stands out. Like Paper Mario is a great game, and I think it has a great OST, but it's like not an OST you can listen to by itself. It's kind of a little like jarring by itself. It can be.
For Mario, yeah. I think the only song that I really listen to from like Paper Mario the most is like the battle thing, because I don't know what's up with Mario, but they make some of the craziest bangers when it comes to the RPG battle music for all the different Mario games. That and then a little bit of the Princess Peach theme, you know, the dun, 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 you know. It's really nice.
Sorry, ASMR going on right there. Wait, bro, I'm using a pirated version of Godot and it doesn't work. It took my credit card.
Dude,
Godot is free. Go to Godot. Just go to Godot. You can see.
you Godot, dude.
How did that happen?
Sound like somebody scamming, dude.
What is better, Carrot Farm Simulator 2, iPhone and Android, or Dewdrop? I don't even know what that is.
It sounds like a Germa game.
What platform are you releasing Dewdrop on? Steam, Mac. Okay, Windows, Linux, Mac, Switch, and then we'll probably port. Like the way that game development works is you release it for PC first, and then you do one console at a time, and you slowly port from each console. So we'll keep adding as we see fit. Like maybe we'll be like, oh, this game really needs a mobile port, and there's a high demand. From my research, that's really not the case, but that's kind of how you do it. Goodgis, what do you think of the Doom OST? Dude, I don't even know if I've ever heard it.
Yeah. Wait, which Doom are you talking about? Are you talking about like old school Doom with the classic midis? Or are we talking about like modern Mick Gordon Doom?
Oh, I forgot Sonic R. I literally have that OST stuck in my head like constantly. How did you set up your character icons in the bottom left? It's magic. No, I just look up PNG Tuber. It took me forever to figure out how to do it. Oh, it's playing Piranha Plant's Lullaby, so I gotta make Mario say I'm tired. I'm tired. All right, friends, we're about ready to wrap it up. So any last things you want to say it now. It's getting late here. I'm sure it's late for a lot of you guys as well. Thank you so much for the later stream. While you guys are asking any final things, I just want to give a couple plugs real quick. If you haven't wishlisted Dewdrop Dynasty, literally click in the description below and wishlist it. It seriously helps us so much. And our goal, Bonzo and I, our goal is to like make this our full-time job. It's not our full-time job. We both work on the side. And really with the success of Dewdrop, we could go from doing that on the side to doing it full-time, which is super exciting for us. So we really appreciate all the love and support. Another shout out is huge shout out to Kiwi for moderating in the chat. She always does a good job of keeping everything squeaky clean. So huge shout out to her. If you're interested in a game jam, we're currently hosting a game jam called the Cozy Autumn Game Jam. Let me check right now, but last I checked, we had over 500 people join, and it starts in 8 days. Yeah, we got almost 600 people have joined. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. They always are. We've been doing this for a couple of years now. So join the game jam, and we'll answer any last questions, and then we'll tip our fedoras. My favorite game is Pumpkin Fortress. No, just kidding. That's a game Bonzo did.
What game?
Pumpkin Fortress. No, one of my favorite games. My favorite games are. Here are the three of them: Paper Mario, Ocarina of Time, and Sonic Adventures. Games outside of that, like out of that core list, would be like Breath of the Wild's really great. I'm just trying to think of games that I go back to. I don't know. Those three really cover kind of the genres. Earthbound Zero. I don't know. If you had to pick at gunpoint, Bonzo, what would you say like your top 3 games are?
My top 3 games. Okay, so one that's obvious would be like God Hand. That's always gonna be up there forever.
You do love some God Hand.
The game has some of the best like action game combat. That's just like that. Nothing gives me the same joy. For
it is a classic game.
Right. Like God Hand. Let's see. What's my other favorite game? I always love Meta Knight's Revenge forever. And Kirby Superstar Ultra. The game is so good. It's so good. That's one of the first times that Kirby has an actual like dialogue system in the game, though it's not actively you like pressing it or anything. It's at the bottom. It's like Star Fox.
Huh.
Yeah. And then let's see another one. The thing about it is that I have a lot of games that are like I love and are dear to my heart. Like nothing like there's just so many games that I just enjoy. Like at one part of me is all like, man, it's like one part makes me fight between like Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 2 has better combat. Kingdom Hearts 2 has some of the hypest moments in the entire series.
It does,
like
for sure.
The whole basically that game goes on all cylinders right after Goofy gets hit with a rock. It's like turns into peak video games.
Oh my gosh.
Right. And then Kingdom Hearts 1, I just have heavy nostalgia for it. I just love its story. It's very good in standalone. It's just getting me so emotional, but it's also because I just played that game at such a young age, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the games that you play early on leave quite an impression on you. Like, I think that's why I love Paper Mario so much, is just because of that.
Right. That's probably one of the reasons why I like drum and bass so much, because that era of music was played so much in like the 90s.
Oh, dude, it's so good. I'm just thinking like the drum bass in like Rurouni Kenshin, and just like it's like early 2000s like PS1 games. I love it. PS1, PS2, beautiful.
Yeah, like that, like electronic techno. That was that era. The 2000s was that era where so much music was inspired by the musicians of like the Matrix and all that stuff.
That's true.
So there was a heavy influence into that.
Whoa.
Huh?
The magic noise. Okay, so like 1 or 2 more questions here, and then we're gonna wrap it up. How do you juggle a job and game dev work? I find I'm too exhausted to make progress after a long day's work. It is challenging. Like I worked all day today. I worked from 9 to 5, and then Bonzo came over, and then we've been streaming. So it does take it out of you sometimes, but you just have to. The main thing is don't burn out. But like we said earlier, you make time for the things that you love doing, and I'm very passionate about it. And my wife's very supportive. My family's very supportive, and I just love doing it. So if you love it, not saying it's always easy, but yeah, it can be hard.
I'm just gonna do one lightning, like zombie movie. You said something about both Doom games. You and one other person about the music. Yeah, Doom original. That's classic. It's nostalgic. It's got kind of a fun cheese to it, or just like shooting out like demons, all that stuff on like crusty midis, but still fun. Doom Eternal music and Doom 2016. This music is great. It's fantastic. It's very hardcore. It gives you a lot of energy. And it's a vibe just like slaying demons. Is incredible. It's it just adds to the whole gameplay. When you're playing it, it's like one of the best games ever in Doom Eternal.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is it for today's stream. Thank you guys so much. Bonzo, thank you so much for being here.
No
Definitely
problem.
want to have you on stream more often and get the rest of the Fear team. I've talked about doing like a podcast in the future. I think it would be a lot of fun to get these guys on, because they do a lot of work that you don't see, and they're a huge part of the team. So I love to have them on more. So thank you guys. Thank you everyone. Have a lovely rest of your night or morning, whatever time it is, and we will see you next time. Peace.
Yeah, you all sleep well, gamers.
Peace.